Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now's Facebook Live breaking news coverage of a massive fire along Crescent Street. We're at the corner of Crescent and Bishop Street just at 8:30. Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist joining us. Sir, what's the latest on the scene here that you can report?
Well, the Royal factory here on Crescent Street is still continuing to burn. It's going to burn for quite some time. We don't know the cause of it yet. We've had multiple volunteer and other companies come join us to assist in the process. And we're really just trying to put out as much as we can until we have some demolition crews arrive, which will help bring down parts of the building and extinguish some of the fire. But it's going to be a long night for our crews and for all of the other folks that have come today.
Do you know how large in scope this building is?
I don't have that information offhand. It's obviously a big building, a really beautiful building here in the city. We're sad to lose it, but right now we're in the mode where we need to try to put the flames out, deal with the electric that's been shut off. As you guys may have heard, some of the transformers here have caught fire, so part of the electric on this street has been cut. So we're working to try to restore that and deal with the fire at the same time.
Two-pronged fight, it looks like, in that regard. As for the building, you mentioned it's going to be torn down at this point. The fate of it then more than likely would be a total loss. It'll be destroyed, demolished.
Yeah, I can't speak to if it's going to be a total loss. It's looking like it is as of right now. However, it is a common strategy that we use for certain fires to bring in a demolition crew. Once the fire is extinguished to a certain point, the demolition will allow us to actually put the majority of the rest of the fire out. It also helps because there's a lack of stability in this right now, as most of the building has burned.
I know that fire crews mentioned early on that was a safety hazard. That's one of the reasons why we don't see them going up into the building, is because they were concerned about the walls coming down towards us.
Yeah, there's a big concern over the walls collapsing. The way that our fire team actually attacks some of that is to help the walls and make sure, especially with brick buildings, that if they're collapsing, that they collapse in and not out into the street, as it's one of the most dangerous things for firefighters. But we'll continue to do that. We use a certain type of water stream to manage that. But you're right, they had stayed back because of not only the walls collapsing and the brick, but the heat. So this fire was really hot. It's melted siding and other parts of other buildings around it. And so we're working very hard to make sure that our folks are safe and we're able to safely extinguish the fire.
I know one of the things that Jamestown Police put on their social media was asking people to avoid the area. Yep. Specifically, do you know where some of these closures might be, or just all around Crescent? Is there a radius?
Yeah, we're trying to close down as much of Crescent, other areas as possible around it. Some main thoroughfares are still accessible, so that won't be an issue. But, you know, unfortunately, we have a lot of folks that are coming out that want to see the fire. But we're really encouraging people just to stay back, stay away, let us do our job. This is a very serious thing, and we don't want to see anyone get hurt, whether it's from flames, from bricks, or from any other issue that we're trying to resolve here today.
Speaking of injuries, do you know if anyone was inside at the time?
I'm not aware of any injuries at this time, but we'll leave that up to the fire department once they've concluded their investigation.
And as for what was in this building, do we have an idea of if there was a building that a business that occupied this building?
Well, we know it was Royal Chairs for a very long time. I can't tell you if there was someone or something in the building. We do know there was occasional use of it. You know, we are working to get in touch with the owners and try to work through that process. But if you're asking, was it used as an active manufacturing, I don't believe so. Most of the folks on buildings on Crescent Street don't have that same use. But we do know there was occasional use of it for personal purposes.
Mayor, thank you. And as we see now, crews, the massive power of this water, and I think it's just a testament to that safety issue for people to stay back. Mayor, thank you. Anything else you have to add that maybe we didn't touch on that you want the public to know?
No, we're asking residents to stay as far back as possible. We really want to keep people safe as we go through this process. This is a big one for the city, and we're trying to do whatever we can with some really great support and help from other departments across the area.
You mentioned the timeline. This is something you think into the evening, morning, that we'll see crews still here?
Yeah, we're most likely going to have crews here overnight. As I spoke with the deputy fire chief about it, this thing is going to burn. There's just no doubt about it. In some instances with large factories, we just have to let that process go.
All right, Mayor, thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Appreciate it.
So again, if you're just joining us for WNY News Now, live breaking news coverage, here's what we know, the fast facts. Just before 7 o'clock, fire crews were called to this structure, which used to be a furniture manufacturing business here in Jamestown. Since then, the mayor believes there was some use of this building, but not a full occupancy. It's unclear whether if anybody was inside at the time. He could only speculate. He said he'll leave it up to the fire department to make that determination. We're on the corner of Crescent and Bishop Street. The building has been burning, to our knowledge, for now an hour and 37 minutes. And at this point, a lot of smoke is starting to come up from this massive fire that at times was fully engulfed. We had powerful images coming in early on that just showed the extent of the flames. And now as they continue to add water to it, we'll continue to see more of that smoke begin to billow up in this neighborhood. And Mayor Eddie Sundquist telling us just moments ago here live on WNY News Now that he's asking residents to please avoid this area at all costs as they work this fire. Likely will be burning throughout the overnight and into tomorrow as crews work to contain this scene. Of course, as we continue to learn more information, we'll bring it to you here live on WNYNewsNow.com. But as you see, just this massive amount of smoke now starting to move in. And earlier, we saw this black, thick, heavy smoke from areas as far as Randolph and Cattaraugus County that will continue to provide updates as well. So we're getting reports, as the mayor mentioned, there was some sort of small-scale factory work in a company called Jamestown Royal that was here, and crews are going to be working on this, and they're actually moving in, so I'll get out of their way as they continue to inspect the building and work to make this. The mayor says there will be an emergency demolition here on this Jamestown Royal structure. You can already see that most of what was a window on that front-facing facade is gone now. And during that live interview with the mayor, we heard the bricks. We can hear them falling now. See? Looks like Jamestown Fire actually now climbing their ladder to get up, maybe to get a better angle on that hose. They can move that once it's up there. It's at a usual fixed position. But he's gonna, firefighter, climb to the top of ladder 2 here and adjust that. And as the mayor mentioned, there's a ton of manpower on this scene tonight. Fire departments from all across this area asking people to avoid Crescent Street. We're at the corner of Crescent and Bishop. Just so everybody knows, SB Point has been banned from the comments. Looks to be spam. We apologize for that. So any idea on power, Stephanie asked? That's a great question. The mayor said that they're working. They had to shut power down to many homes in this area because the transformer actually caught a blaze. They've since gotten that under control, but the power's out. They're going to be working. The BPU is here to try to restore that as quickly as they can. And as soon as we learn a possible restoration time, We'll try to provide updates here live and on our website and mobile app. Alan asking, does anybody know how it caught fire? We don't know that quite yet. A lengthy investigation will most likely persist to this immediate action. Yeah, you see more of this just brick as they continue to try to beat it with water to try to get the building to come in on itself. The mayor says that's a tactic that the fire department uses here to try to get it to come through. But Jamestown Royal is what was in this building, some sort of limited operations that were occurring. See our brave firefighters working the scene.
I'll label that as danger. That's just under that. We first smell smoke. The top floor is the last room we got on the page. Yeah, because when Alex called me, I turned on my phone and I heard what he said. I've got a portable in my house. I forgot to bring it. I should have. Huh? I've got a portable in my house. I should have brought it. I threw mine here in the fly card. What?
But if you're just joining us, this is what we know. For about an hour and 43 minutes now, fire crews have been battling this blaze at the corner of Bishop and Crescent Street, along Crescent Street. The Jamestown Royal, Mayor Sundquist tells us that at this point their attack plan is to try to get the building to collapse in on itself. Several fire departments from all across the area are on scene working to put out this blaze. We don't know of any injuries or a possible cause. But what we can tell you is that this is definitely going to be a very long operation for the first responders here as they work to try to battle these flames and bring this building down. So much water that they're putting on it. And it's a fairly large factory structure. And at this point, our shot is muddied with smoke and water. And earlier, there was an amount of heavy flames that were coming out of this building. They've done a great job in the last hour and 45 minutes to knock that down. And I see a lot of people here in the comments, Nicole talking about the crazy traffic. Yeah, it really was backed up from along 2nd Street all the way from downtown. Our photographer Bronson, who's behind the camera now, he was here first. And I was stuck in traffic for probably 10-15 minutes before I just ditched my vehicle and went on foot. Walked probably, I'd say, at least a good dozen city blocks to here, corner of Bishop and Crescent now. And the mayor mentioned that there are a number of street closures. Crescent Street closed completely from Windsor all the way down to Buffalo. And then parts of 2nd Street as well are closed. And some people in this neighborhood of Crescent and Bishop are without power. It is starting to get dark. Sunset's not in sunset at 8:57 tonight, so about 10 minutes away. They're going to work to try to get that power back as soon as they can. They blame a transformer fire connected to this because it was burning so hot for the reason why they had to pull the plug on that power. But at this point, you know, they really done a good job of trying to knock down the fire. It was fully involved at one moment.
go one.
Thank
If you're still joining us here on WNY News Now, Justin Gould and photographer Bronson Rasmussen at the corner of Crescent and Bishop Streets in the city of Jamestown. Now 9:16 past sunset, the scene of a massive fire that's been burning for about 2 hours and 16 minutes now. What we know and what we've reported all evening long is that this building, Jamestown Royal, was reported ablaze about 7 o'clock tonight when 911 calls started to come in. And 2 hours ago at this time, the scene looked totally different. The building was engulfed with flames coming out of windows that are no longer there. In fact, a lot of the upper part of the building has since collapsed in on itself due to the pressure of the water that has fallen. Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist telling us this operation is going to take them a long time to get things cleaned up. This is only the start of what he says is one of the biggest fires Jamestown has seen in a long time. Crews expected to be here into the overnight and into tomorrow morning as they work to demolish this. That's the only way they're going to be able to get the fire out, he tells us. You can see that there is still a good amount of fire down inside of the building from our vantage point, down into the lower first levels. This used to be a furniture manufacturing company. The mayor is saying that there was a business operating out of this, but to the extent he didn't know. He assumed a very minor operation with a few employees, possibly an owner-occupied building. But I spoke to several residents in the area who just was astonished at the amount of fire and how quickly this fire went up. With this section of Crescent Street, fairly a quiet section of Crescent Street, there's not that many people down on this side. On the upper sections of Crescent's people inside their homes. One woman who I spoke to, who we will put into a report on WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app in about maybe an hour and a half, once this live stream is over, explained that she had ash that was the size of her palm falling in her backyard, and she could read letters off of what was paper at one point that she assumed was from this blaze, with a huge amount of black smoke in the sky. So again, we'll continue to provide updates on this story as the night goes on. Firefighters changing their attack a little bit, reorganizing. The Ladder 2 fire truck has since been moved back. It's now actually turned around. And as the back of it is facing where the front once was. I guess that's what turned around is, right? So we'll continue to provide updates as we learn more information. But for now, live in the city of Jamestown, Justin Gould, WNY News Now.